A pleasant good evening to one and all in the region, across the nation, and around the world. We welcome you back to Pontiac, Illinois, and Pontiac Memorial Arena. This is it. This is why we played all these games to get to this point. It's Championship Friday, and we have a championship game for you. It is the surprise team of the tournament, the Curie Condors, taking on the number one team in the nation, the Simeon Wolverines. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Brian Snow. I'm joined by EJ, Emil Williams Jr., and Hot Rod. This is it. We knew Simeon would get here. We were surprised that Curie got here.
Well, it really is a surprise, and there's no question about that, and you called that upset earlier. But Curie was seeded in this tournament, so they did get their due, the number 3 seed here in the tournament. But it takes a lot to knock off Warren, and in today's case, it took 2 overtimes to do that. And the Condors, of course, in their mind, are right where they belong, and that's in the final of this tournament.
Taking a look at the Curie Condors, led by Michael Oliver in his 9th season. 227 and 105 is Oliver's overall record. As we take a look at Curie, the athletic director, George Pruitt, they, of course, are known as the Condors. They sport the red, white, and the blue. Point out a couple of players for Curie that we need to watch tonight.
Well, of course, Cliff Alexander, but he struggled a little bit in the tournament. Hasn't been able to really do the things he'd like to do offensively. Of course, he's had some spectacular dunks and whatnot, but he really liked to be more involved in the offense. And I'm sure Coach Oliver will like that as well. But it's also been the transfer, Malcolm Hill-Bay, the transfer from Mount Carmel. He's been big off the bench, but the last 2 games, really, so quote-unquote, the unknowns of the team, Jabril Jackson and Devin Foster. Foster came up big again today with 25 points in that win over Warren Township. So really a complete team, and when you have Hill-Bay to come off the bench, that's another element that Coach Oliver has to display.
How important is Alexander's play going to be tonight in the post?
Well, there's no question about how important it's going to be, because when you match up against Steve Taylor or Jabari Parker, the question is, who will he guard on defense? If it's Jabari Parker, as we saw earlier, can bring you out, face you up, post you up, and do all the things that a guard can do. But the question is, or the point is, Steve Taylor can do the same thing. So if you get Cliff Alexander out to come out and guard the perimeter, that should open up some things and get some easy baskets for Taylor or Kendall Pollard.
And let's take a look at the number 1 Simeon Wolverines, the number 1 team in the nation and the number 1 team in the state of Illinois coming into tonight. Each of these teams are 11-0, in particular the Simeon Wolverines. Coming into this tournament this weekend, they played a good game against Whitney Young, where they won that 62-55. We mentioned everybody that surrounds Jabari Parker, but if anybody is familiar with Chicago Public League basketball, particularly within the last 2 years, it starts and ends, EJ, with number 22.
And there's no question about that, Brian. Jabari Parker, the best player in the country, best player in the state, although Steve Taylor is the number 1 senior in the state of Illinois. We saw Jabari Parker be very aggressive in the semifinal against Peoria Manual. He had 21 points and 12 rebounds, but we didn't see that aggressiveness in the first 2 games. He kind of let things kind of come to him. And even in the second game against United Township, he had a couple of turnovers early, really out of the rhythm, and Simeon was out of rhythm as well. So if you get Simeon out of rhythm if you're Curie, that's a good thing. But Simeon wants to come out strong, and I expect another big game from Jabari Parker. This is the kind of game where the superstars rise to the occasion. Could be a defining game for Jabari Parker in his still young career.
Let's take a look at the road to the championship as we look at these teams. Curie took on Niles West and took care of business against them, and then they took on Aurora West and won that game by 8. They next drew Warren Township in the semifinals, which you saw earlier today on High School Cube, and it took them 2 overtimes to get rid of them. For Simeon, it's been somewhat of a cakewalk up until now, when they faced Bloomington, blew them out with 70 points. They faced Lockport, they faced Simeon, they blew them out with 70 points. They faced United Township and blew them out with 70 points. And then they got to Peoria Manual and squeaked by with a 1-point win, 48-47 in the game. You heard my partner EJ call earlier today. Both of these teams love to run. Both of these teams love to play defense. What are 3 big factors, EJ, that will decide tonight's championship?
Well, I think one thing will be the point guard play for Simeon. They have 3 point guards who are ready, willing, and able. But Jelani Neely, Jaylon Tate, and Reginald Norris all splitting minutes. Still new to the system is Jaylon Tate, but he got the most extensive minutes of his career with Simeon down the stretch in that Peoria Manual game, so that should bode well for the Wolverines. Should they need to look to Tate down the stretch, he'll be up to the task. And, of course, we mentioned the quote-unquote unknowns for Curie, Jackson and Foster. We know about Malcolm Hill-Bay, although he comes off the bench. He brings a different element. But those two in the backcourt, Jackson and Foster, will be key. And I think Cliff Alexander really needs to assert himself on the offensive end. He's been quiet throughout this tournament. This could be a coming out party for the 6'9" sophomore.
Well, that's my partner, EJ Emil Hot Rod Williams. I am Brian Snow, and folks, we're ready for a championship. We'll be back in 1 minute with tonight's championship game. It's the Simeon Wolverines and the Curie Condors. That's next on highschoolcube.com. Welcome back to Pontiac Memorial Arena, and in the midst of a full house, we got a championship game to deliver to you tonight. It's the Simeon Wolverines and the Curie Condors. Let's meet our starting lineups for the Simeon Wolverines. They'll start Reggie Norris at one guard position, and at the other guard will be Kendall Nunn. In the forward spots will be Kevin Pollard along with Steve Taylor. Jabari Parker will man the middle. For the Curie Condors, they'll start Jabril Jackson in one guard spot along with Devin Foster. The third guard is Baston. In the front court is Thomas Smith. They'll be manned in the middle by Cliff Alexander. We're ready to go. Simeon dressed in the gold with the royal blue numbers trimmed in white. They'll travel left to right across your screen as we watch it, as you watch it at home. Alexander and the Condors dressed in the home white. Ball tapped to the air, controlled by Thomas Smith, who hands it to Foster, now who hands it to Jackson. And Curie travels right to left as we see it and as you folks are watching along with us. It's a Chicago Public League final in the Pontiac Memorial Tournament. Jackson has it off to the left. Out front is Foster. Foster swings it right side to Baston. Batson holds and looks against Kendall Nunn, turns on the dribble, stops right to the key. Dump low for Alexander, tipped out of bounds by Steve Taylor. And something you brought up already, partner, it's the quickness of Steve Taylor on defense.
Steve Taylor is a matchup nightmare for anybody, as Kendrick Nunn is trying to shake something off now. He might have been hit. Don't know where.
We don't want to know where.
We do not want to know where.
No, we don't.
But back to Steve Taylor. He's a matchup nightmare on offense, but defensively, again, very long, very quick, but some size on both fronts. They can match up with Cliff Alexander and do the same.
Foster to come in baseline left. He lobs it into the backcourt, and Jackson will chase it down. 7.5 minutes remaining, first period of play, just getting started in our championship game. Foster lost the ball, able to get it back. Drives right baseline in on Parker, and a blocking foul on Jabari Parker. EJ, you and I have had a chance to talk about Jabari Parker and the sharp difference from last year to this year, just in size alone, not to mention the attitude and what else he has brought to the table.
Well, that's a great point, Brian. Jabari continues to get stronger, continues to get better. He's already good. And
there's a steal, and here comes Kendrick Nunn. Stolen back by Jackson. Jackson drives back on Simeon 1-on-3, plays it left side for Foster. Foster back to Jackson, pressured by a Kendrick Nunn. Jackson on the move with a left-hand dribble, works it left to right, comes back to the right side for Batson. In the right corner is Foster. Foster comes back out on the dribble, out front to Jackson near the timeline. Here comes Jackson to the left corner. Batson's three. Off the short end of the rim, rebound Jabari Parker. Parker has had a double-double every game in this tournament. Parker with a wraparound dribble all the way to the right side. Parker trapped in the right corner, slips it low to Taylor. Baseline jump, good. Count the basket plus the foul. And that's a good call because Taylor was in his motion of shooting when he got hit.
Great call. Thomas Smith, a little too much body. Holding Parker, couldn't let him get to a spot.
So now they'll get the bucket and they'll get possession. Norris slips it low to Parker, low right. Parker had it poked away. Alexander a steal. 2-0 Simeon. 6:39 remaining first period. Batson comes across into the front court. Curie travels right to left here in the first half. Batson with a scissor dribble out front against Kendrick Nunn. Batson comes back to the right side, finds Jackson. Jackson on the move to the right. He's fouled by Reginald Norris. That's his first 2 fouls on Simeon.
The foul trouble is something to watch, Brian. If I'm Curie, I'm going right at Jabari Parker every time to try to get him out of the game.
I'd go at him inside all the way. Foul line extended left. They come and play to Jackson to the backcourt.
By the way, folks, this is not a public league game.
No,
we are at the Pontiac tournament.
This is in Pontiac. A 3 for Foster out front. Counted. What a shot. What a shot by Devin Foster. He hit a couple of those against Warren earlier this afternoon. 3-2 Condors. 6:05 for the first. Nunn lost the ball. Jackson a steal. Jackson on the drive in from the left. Nunn poked it away. Jackson able to get it back. Back outside. 20-footer head of the key. Good by Thomas Smith.
Thomas Smith.
Curie has the talent to win this game.
5-2 our score. Norris comes across into the front court. Left side for Nunn. Nunn on the drive. Stolen by Jackson. Nunn gets it back. Under to Foster. Right hand dunk. Steve Taylor with a right-handed slam. And it's 5-4. 5.5 remaining in the first period. The athleticism, that's the word I'm looking for. Steve Taylor is freaky. Here comes Batson all the way and lost it. Had it blocked. Taylor the rebound. Ahead it comes to Norris. Norris hook back to Nunn. 15-footer left of the key. Off the back of the rim. Rebound Alexander. Lost it. It's out of bounds. It'll belong to the Condors. Five to 4 our score. .509 left in the first. Jackson on the move to the right. Jackson on the drive all the way to the baseline. Hands it to Alexander. He lays it up, no good. Alexander the rebound. Double fake. Stripped underneath. Taken away by Pollard. Hands to Norris. Norris on the move for Simeon across into the front court. Plays it right side to Nunn. Nunn on the move. Left to right. Stops. Hands it underneath to Parker. Two-hand dunk.
Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker gives Simeon the lead back at 6-5. 4:39 left in the first. Foster lost the ball off his foot. He's able to gather it in at the timeline. Here comes Foster with a spin move on Pollard. He missed the layup. Batson gives it back out. Jackson a three. No. And the rebound to Nunn.
Oh, Nunn skying over Alexander to get that rebound.
Here's Taylor's three. Side of the rim, no good. Ball tapped back out to Norris. Simeon gets another shot. 6-5 our score. Simeon leads. 4 minutes for the first. Parker has an outside right on Thomas Smith. Parker on the move with a jump pass to Pollard on the right wing. Out front Nunn. 20-footer head of the key. Missed. Rebound Alexander. Alexander hands to Jackson and they're on the way. Jackson on the move with a bullet pass underneath. Tipped away, stolen by Nunn. Nunn on the drive, left-hand dunk.
Nunn.
The last 3 baskets for Simeon have all been dunks. And the Wolverines lead 8-5, 3.5 of the first. Jaylon Tate will come on for Simeon in just a moment. Out front to Foster. Foster stops. 18-footer head of the key, back of the rim, Parker the rebound. Jabari Parker giddy-ups into the front court. Parker on the move, starter steps on Smith. A kick out to Nunn and a blocking foul before Nunn can get the shot. And when you know it, he buried the shot.
The athleticism unmatched.
Athleticism unmatched for sure. This game is presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than. Here's a turnaround shot by Parker. No good. Rebound volleyball underneath and a loose ball foul. It's against Pollard. 3:04 left in the first. 8-5, Simeon with the lead. Malcolm Hillbay on the move into the front court outside right as he's come on for the first time. Malcolm Hillbay slips down on the dribble, hands it to Foster. Foster drives right in the lane, underneath to Thomas Smith, had his shot blocked, and whacked all the way up here toward us. This time I'm glad it did not come toward me as it did 2 nights ago. 8-5 our score, 2:46 remaining in the first period. Simeon has scored 6 in a row, all on dunks. Malcolm Hillbay in the front court. Hillbay on the move to the right. Has it one-on-one against Kendrick Nunn. Backs out to the right wing. Works off the Smith screen and pops the 18-footer. Banked it in. Malcolm Hillbay makes it 8-7 in favor of Simeon. As Jaylon Tate has into the front court. Out front to Taylor. Back to Tate. Here comes Tate off the Taylor screen. A hook pass back outside. Gathered in by Taylor underneath Pollard. Kick out Nunn. Left wing 3. Off the back of the rim. Rebound. Volleyball underneath. It's loose. Still loose. Pollard brings it in and stolen by Smith. Ahead to Hillbay. Malcolm Hillbay on the move into the front court. Drives all the way in. Had the ball poked away. Foster with a bullet pass underneath to Jackson. Double fake. Parker got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Belongs to Simeon. We talked about the athleticism, but also the defense of Simeon making an impact early.
Their defense is what drives them. You know, they're so athletic. They get a lot of credit, and everybody looks to their offense and how they dunk the basketball, but their defense is their bread and butter and what will ultimately carry them.
$150 for the first. Kendrick Nunn on the move all the way to the left. Nunn on the drive. Lefty layup is in. Kendrick Nunn with 4. The lead is 3 for Simeon. 10-7. $139 remaining in the first. As Malcolm Hillbay will walk it up. Hillbay across the timeline into the front court. Guarded by Kendrick Nunn as he angles to the right. In the right corner is Foster. Foster turns on Pollard. Back out front to Jackson to the left side for Malcolm Hillbay. Hillbay looks low. Finds Smith instead. Left of the key. Smith punches it low. And Parker, can he come up with it? Nope. Alexander does. Out front to Foster. He fakes, drives, all the way in. His layup is blocked. Foul on Parker. If that's the case, Parker has 2 fouls. It is on Parker. He does have 2 fouls. And it forces Robert Smith to make a decision with 1:13 remaining in the first. Dontrell Tankson will come on for the Curie Condors in just a second. Free throw number 1, missed it. Reggie Norris will come in and Parker will get a breather. It'll be a short rest. We can just about tell, even with 2 fouls, it's going to be a short rest for Parker because Robert Smith knows he needs Parker on the floor. Marcellus Davis on the floor now for Curie. 1:13 for the first, 10-7 our score in favor of the Simeon Wolverines. Free throw number 2. Nope. It's Taylor the rebound. Hands to Tate, and here come the Simeon Wolverines left to right. 107 for the first. Tate dances on the dribble out near the timeline. Tate on the move all the way to the left, plays it left corner to Kendrick Nunn. Nunn holds and looks against Boston, now comes back out on the dribble. Down the lane he comes, leaves it for Pollard, right corner Norris. Norris comes back out on the dribble. We're inside of the greater than final minute. 50 seconds and counting, remaining in the first. On the right side is Norris. Norris looks low for Pollard to get it to him right of the key. Pollard backs in, fadeaway jumper right baseline, too long, rebound tap underneath. Taylor trying to chase it down, can't, belongs to Curie. .37 seconds left in the first as Malik Ellie will come on. Ellaby comes on and Alexander gets a breather. 35 seconds left to go first quarter. Malcolm Hillbay trots it up. Malcolm Hillbay all the way to the right, now finds Foster, right corner 3, brick, rebound Taylor. 20 seconds for the first. Let's see if Simeon will hold the ball. Taylor in straight attack mode comes to the top of the circle and leaves it for Norris. Down to 15, 14, 13, now 12. Norris on the move to the right, picks up his dribble. Out front to Taylor, to the left side, Nunn. 4-3, count it, that's a smooth stroke. Kendrick Nunn gives a 6-point lead to Simeon. Hillbay falls down to the dribble, and that's the quarter. Done with a quarter, and Simeon leads 13-7. This game is presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to feel at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and any other independent retailers. Click on their ad to watch the Greater Than video. And you click on us and stick around for the second quarter. Simeon 13, Curie 7. It's the Pontiac Championship on highschoolcube.com. Register now on highschoolcube.com to share your favorite moments and games. If you register at highschoolcube.com, the leading broadcast platform for high schools. Tonight's game brought to you by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut sports drink loaded with electrolytes. Be greater than. Drink greater than. 13-7 as we head to the second period. Brian Snow joined by the hot rod, E.J. Williams. As we start the second quarter. For Simeon, it's Tate, Nunn, Pollard, Taylor, and Norris. Here comes Tate on the move to the right. Chasing the switch by Ellaby. Ball tipped in the air. Stolen by Ellaby. Ahead to Tankston. Tankston drives. Nunn got a piece of it. Alexander the rebound. The follow is no good. Rebound underneath and a loose ball foul against Simeon. Good job by Simeon getting back on defense. They prevented 2 layups.
Nunn actually got a piece of the first. But again, that's the calling card for Simeon defense.
Tankston has into the right corner, out front to Hill Bay as they'll reset. Back to the left side for Marcellus Davis, who's on the floor for the first time. Davis, a standing dribble, now works his way to the right, picks up the dribble, finds Tankston out of the way to the left side for Hill Bay. Hill Bay has it wide to the right. Off the Ellaby screen, Hill Bay on the move toward the left side, guarded by Tate. Hill Bay with a scissor dribble out front, nowhere to go. Now makes his move to the right, chased off the dribble, bounces underneath, and Taylor got it for a moment. Ellaby hands it in the lane, walk no call. Pass is stolen by Nunn, a little poetic justice. Here comes Simeon on the fly. Nunn, kick out Norris, right corner Tate. Out front to Pollard, he walked. One travel called, one travel not called. This will be interesting. 7:01 remaining in the first period. 13-7. Simeon leads by 6 and 6:55 remaining in the half. Neely across into the front court. Neely leans over the dribble, works his way to the right, now pops a 3, in and out. And rebound tapped on the floor. It comes out to Hill Bay. A hook pass to Davis. A right corner 3. Nope. And rebound, Taylor brings it down. Taylor brings it up for Simeon, leading by 6, ahead to Norris. Norris has it outside to the left. In the left corner is Pollard, low left Taylor. Taylor faces on Alexander, spins, and Alexander got a piece of it. Taylor went one way, Alexander with the other. Alexander won the battle. It comes ahead to Tankston. Cross court to the left side for Davis. Davis holds and looks outside to the left. Keeps his dribble out near the timeline, all the way to the right side for Hill Bay. Hill Bay stutter step move, down the lane he comes, runs into people, flings the shot up, no good. Rebound tap to the air, comes down to Tate. Tate and Simeon on the fly, up by 6. Here comes Tate on the drive, all the way. His shot blocked by Davis and cleared by Alexander. Stolen by Tate, double fake on Alexander. He missed the shot, ball batted out of bounds. Which way? And we have a foul. That foul's on Cliff Alexander. Malcolm Hill Bay will come out. Jackson will come back in. They lob it into Pollard. Now low right for Taylor. Taylor faces right baseline. Kick out, left corner. Nunn, 3, in and out. Rebound Alexander. Here comes Jackson. 5:37 for the quarter. No one has scored here in the second period. 13-7, 5.5 for the half. Alexander leans over the dribble, works his way to the right, now to the right corner for Davis. Davis straddling the sideline out front to Tankston. Tankston between the rings, back to Davis on the right wing. Out front is Jackson. Jackson backs out on the dribble, works his way to the left. Lost the ball. Ball's free. Pollard to steal, ahead to Taylor. Taylor on the move into the front court. To the left, right corner for Nunn. Nunn comes out on the dribble and flips it back up to Tate. We play 3 minutes and no one has scored in this second quarter. Here comes Tate, works off the Pollard screen, all the way to the right, now to the right corner for Nunn. Nunn on the drive, in from the right, all the way to the hoop. Lefty layup is in. Kendrick Nunn with 9, he leads all scores. And a timeout called by Curie.
Kendrick Nunn, Brian, you can't really call him sneaky good, but he is really phenomenal. And the things that he's able to do, he's able to get to one side, back and forth with ease, and just being left-handed, of course, makes the flash look that much better.
And the thing is, you just mentioned the biggest thing about him. He's left-handed. He's left-handed, so it forces you to guard him a different way than you would any other player, because you being around basketball as long as I, you know most players are right-handed. So when you see a lefty, you don't know what to do.
And he's so good, and he's still pretty solid, of course, that he can still go right instead of leaving the dominant hand. Of course, if you make him go left, he's going to beat you every time.
Absolutely. 15-7 Simeon, 4:47 left in the half. Jackson comes across into the front court. Batson will come back for Curie in just a moment. To the right side for Davis. Davis on the move, flashes it to the right side to the left side for Jackson. Jackson has it out front, nearly carried the ball. And a travel. That defense, as you said, EJ, is starting to show itself.
It doesn't take the Wolverines very long to figure out what they need to do to be successful.
Norris brings it up for Simeon. Norris on the move to the right, works off the Taylor screen. A hook back to Taylor, a straight on three. Nope. Rebound to Levante Jones, who's on the floor. Jackson runs ahead to Foster. Kind of a sluggish start to the second period. Only one basket is scored. Jackson dumps it low. Taylor bats it away, out of bounds. Stays with Curie, and 3:56 remaining in the first half. Slow start to the second quarter, but as you said, EJ, it doesn't take long for either of these teams, not just Simeon, but either of these teams to warm up, and we've seen that throughout the tournament. Timeout called by Curie. And it's a 30. It is a 30. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Coming up at halftime, it's Chicago's very own Greater Than Halftime Report. All the stats, facts, and figures of the first half, and it's presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, which is an all-natural coconut water sports drink that's loaded with electrolytes. So remember, the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than.
Man, I like that.
I like that too.
Be greater than.
And they like us.
And they like us.
They do like us. Register at highschoolcube.com to put your favorite clips and games into your own library. Highschoolcube.com, the leading broadcast platform for high schools. Across into the front court is Jackson, all the way to the left side for Batson. Batson looks low for Alexander. They get it to him against Taylor. He backs in, and Nunn with a steal. Kendrick Nunn has really stepped up. Runs ahead to Norris. Norris, down the lane comes Pollard. Scoop layup, nope, foul called, and Pollard shoots two. Despite all the things that Curie has done to stay in the game, these two free throws can put Simeon in double digits.
And I talked about Kendall Pollard earlier, and just from this vantage point, Kendall Pollard doesn't look very tall. But standing next to Steve Taylor, he's clearly at least 6'7" or 6'8" as well. And, I mean, that just makes that dominant front line that much more dominant. And plus, he's pretty skilled offensively.
Free throw number one is missed. Malcolm Hilbay back on the floor now for Curie Alexander will get the rest. So Michael Oliver will go with a Smurf attack type lineup. Tallest person on the floor is Foster. Curie now 9 turnovers in the contest. Pollard again. Good. Pollard makes one of two. It's 16-7 in favor of the Simeon Wolverines. They've scored 8 in a row, bridging the quarters. Foster has it out front to the left side for Batson. Batson swings it back right side to Jackson, now to Foster. Foster on the move all the way to the right baseline, cut off by Nunn, and Kendrick Nunn commits the foul. His second. 3:22 for the half. 2 fouls apiece on Jabari Parker and Kendrick Nunn. And if I know Robert Smith, we won't see Parker for the rest of the half as long as Simeon has the lead. Foster looks to come in. In play it comes to Hillbay. What do you think about that strategy?
Well, I think he's trying to ride Kendrick Nunn right now, but Nunn's got to be careful as he picked up his second person.
Well, he comes up with a steal there. Nunn on the move. A hook pass under to Norris. He fumbled it and got it in anyway. What a play by Reggie Norris. That's 6 fouls now on Simeon. The next foul will put Curie at the free throw line. But Simeon's up 11, 18-7. Turning on the dribble is Jackson to the left corner for Malcolm Hillbay. A jump pass all the way out to Foster. Foster, a left-handed dribble deep to the right wing. Works off the Smith screen and pops the 20-footer. Nope. Rebound Nunn. Kendrick Nunn on the move. Kendrick Nunn, 9 points to lead all scorers. He has really stepped up in the absence of Parker. Nunn turns on Hillbay. Turns it to the corner for Tate. Tate on the drive with a hook pass to Norris. A left wing three. Air ball. Rebound comes down to Malcolm Hillbay. Malcolm Hillbay giddy ups into the front court. Hillbay will pop a three from the left wing. Count it.
Malcolm Hillbay.
Malcolm Hillbay makes it 18-10. 2:10 for the half. 8-point Simeon lead. This is the lowest scoring half Simeon has had. All the way to the right corner for Pollard. Back outside to Norris. To the left side pass intended for Nunn. Stolen by Batson. Couldn't keep it.
Cross-court passes, got to be careful with those.
Indeed.
They can get you every time. We will see Jabari check in.
Jabari Parker in, Nunn out. And remember, both are playing with 2 fouls.
And I think in Coach Smith's mind right now, that's an offense for offense. Take Kendrick Nunn out, who's the leading scorer.
And a defense for defense as well. Parker only 2 points in the game. He has 2 fouls. 1:55 remaining in the first half. Norris across the timeline. Here he comes all the way in. Hands it to Taylor right of the lane. Taylor backs in. Out to Tate. Right wing three. In and out. Rebound Taylor. Snatches it on the baseline. Taylor runs over people and shoots it in. What can you do against that? What can you do? 20-10 and 1:34 for the half.
He runs over people.
He did.
This guy.
He ran over people. You've seen it before. And not just with Steve Taylor either. Malcolm Hillbay dances on the dribble off to the right. Malcolm Hillbay on the drive. In for the right hook to the left corner. Foster's three. Yep. Curie may have found a weapon. They've hit their last 2 3-point field goals. And the lead is 7 with 1 minute to go in the half. All the way to the right quarter for Foster. Dump low right to Parker. Parker double fake. Had it blocked by Levante Jones. Great job by Levante Jones recovering at the last minute. Tyree Washington comes on for Simeon. Parker will get a breather for the remainder of the half. Baseline left, they come in to Pollard. Out front to Tate. 53 seconds left, first half of play. Here comes Pollard on the drive in from the left. He walked. 49.7 remain in the first half. .45 seconds and counting, first half of play. 20-13, Simeon by 7. Down to 40 seconds. Out front to Foster, a straight on three. Yep. 9 in a row by Curie, and suddenly the lead is 20-16. They have it in play to Tate. Tate giddy ups into the front court outside right. Tate comes back out on the dribble to the left side for Norris. Norris holds and looks. And now they pitch it all the way to the right side for Washington. Back under to Taylor. Taylor double fake, shoots it high, no good. Taylor had the rebound. Ball is loose. Still loose, out of bounds, stays with Simeon. And they change the call at the last minute. Marcellus Davis comes in. And Levante Jones goes out. So Michael Oliver will get his shooters on the floor. 9.6 remaining, 8-7. Hillbay on the move into the front court. Hillbay drives all the way, hands it to Foster, missed the layup, drew the foul with 9/10 of a second remaining in the first half. And EJ, Curie is not going away.
No, they're not going anywhere. This is a well-coached team. Both of these teams are well-coached, but I don't think many people know about Michael Oliver He's a no-nonsense kind of guy. I don't know the man personally, but watching him operate on the sideline, he will hold you accountable for what you do and don't do on the court.
Foster gives the ball a spin and offers this free throw. No, it rimmed out. And the fella sitting here to my left shook his head in disgust also. If there's one thing that will drive anybody crazy, it's missed free throws. Foster working on 9 points, tied for game high honors. Second free throw, count it. Lead is 3, 20-17. They come into Taylor. He'll throw it the long way, and it just hit the side of the backboard. And that's the half. So the Simeon Wolverines led by 6 after 1. They lead by 3 now. The greater than halftime report comes after this on highschoolcube.com, the leading broadcast platform for high schools. Welcome back to Pontiac Memorial Arena. Brian Snow here with you. Time for the Greater Than halftime report, and it's brought to you by Greater Than, Chicago's very own Greater Than. It's an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. First half stats look like this, as Simeon takes the lead 20-17. Simeon 9 of 27 from the floor, 1 of 3 from distance. That belongs to Kendrick Nunn. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 15 rebounds, 5 on the offensive glass, 3 assists, 9 turnovers, 2 blocks, 10 steals, and they were led in scoring by Kendrick Nunn, whose proud papa is standing next to me. Kendrick Nunn had 9 points to lead the Wolverines. Steve Taylor 6, Jabari Parker a pair. Kendall Pollard had a point, Reginald Norris had 2. For the Curie Condors, 6 of 24 in the first half, 4 of 10 from distance, 1 of 4 from the foul line. 16 rebounds, 6 on the offensive glass, 4 assists, 12 turnovers, a -1 to 3 ratio, but they were led in scoring by Devin Foster, who finished with 10 points in that first half. Malcolm Hilbay had 5. Thomas Smith had a pair. That's the Curie scoring. 20-17 is our score. We will come back with the second half. This halftime report is presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and many other independent retailers. Click on the Greater Than ad to watch the Greater Than video and learn how you can be Greater Than. We head for the second half. After this, from the Pontiac Memorial Arena, your halftime score one more time. It is Simeon 20 and Curie 17. Back with the second half after this message on highschoolcube.com. Welcome back to Pontiac Memorial Arena. Brian Snow here with you as we have two champions already crowned. Proviso East claims the Proviso West title. They blast New Trier 68-55, and Meta Valley wins the inaugural Hinsdale South Championship over the Saxons of Schaumburg 64-52 as we await the results of the McDickford Championship and the second half of this one. Scoreboard update brought to you by Greater Than, Chicago's very own all-natural coconut water sports drink. Next time you need a peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. That, my friends, is my partner, the Hot Rod, E.J. Emil Williams Jr. E.J., quickly, 2 keys to the second half.
Well, again, we talked about point guard play. I think that's going to be evident down the stretch, but more importantly now it's foul trouble. Who can stay out of foul trouble down the stretch and keep their best players on the court? And that's a big thing for both teams. But, again, we talked about Devin Foster prior to this game. He has stepped up in a big way.
Jackson, Foster, Alexander, Thomas Smith, and Batson for Curie as they travel left to right. Pollard commits the foul, and that's his third. On the floor for Simeon, Pollard at the moment playing with 3 fouls. Norris, Taylor, Nunn, and Parker. And they lob it all the way into the backcourt for Jackson. Nunn, part of an athletic family. His sister Kendall, a senior forward at Morgan Park. And she's one of the top city prospects as well. Dancing on the dribble is Jackson, who got it from Foster. Now to the left side, Baston's 3. Nope. And rebound high in the air, and it comes down, and it is out of bounds, belongs to Simeon.
That has to be some pretty good family battles between Kendall and
Do you think? Got an NHL score for you. The Blackhawks beat the hated Red Wings 3-2 in the United Center.
Oh, that's big.
Taylor has it in the left corner against Alexander. Here he comes, left baseline.
Oh!
Right-handed dunk. Are you serious right now? 22-17. Taylor holding his hand a little bit as he probably got it mashed going all the way to the hoop. Steve Taylor with 8. On the left side is Foster. Foster on the move against Taylor. Drives down the lane, kicks to Jackson. Jackson to Thomas Smith, 10-footer short. Taylor tips the rebound, and Nunn trying to hustle it down. It's out of bounds. Which way is it going? It belongs to Simeon. NBA update, Bulls and Clippers tied at 35 in the City of Angels at the Staples Center. Simeon with the ball to come basically the length of the floor as they have it in play to Pollard. Remember, Pollard's playing with 3 fouls. Parker's playing with 2. Kendall Nunn also playing with 2. Norris in the left corner for Parker. Parker fakes, works off the Taylor screen. Parker on the move to the foul line. Out front it comes to Nunn. Nunn drives, shoots, and missed. Nunn had the rebound, but it comes down to Foster. Ahead it comes to Jackson. Jackson with a bounce pass to Batson. Batson to the right side. Smith, right baseline pass is picked off by Parker. 3-on-1. Stolen by Batson. Batson on the drive, in on Nunn, to the hoop, shoots it in. That's a 4-point swing right there because Simeon looked like they were going to be out on the break, and then Batson with a steal. Nunn couldn't commit the foul. Foul called on Jackson.
Joshua Batson.
Malcolm Hilbay in, Devin Foster out. Standing room only here at the Pontiac Memorial Arena. 6:04 for the third. Here comes Norris. Norris on the move, left to right, spins back to the left, lean in, flip, got it. Good job by Norris. Lead back to 5:50 for the third.
Big shot by Reggie Norris. The great spin move, and then the floater, of course.
5:42 for the third. Jackson dances on the dribble. Now to Smith, 18-footer, in and out. Rebound to the floor. Taylor brings it down. Taylor comes right back and leaves it for Norris. Now to the left side for Nunn. Nunn on the drive all the way. Shovels it underneath. Pollard's shot is blocked, tipped out of bounds. Belongs to Curie. I don't know. I thought it was tipped out the other way.
I thought so too.
5:20 for the third. Curie down 5 and with the ball as Jackson has it off to the right. Jackson dancing on the dribble outside of the right, moves in on Norris, turns the other way, pops the three. Nope. And the loose ball comes down to Norris. Norris blows his way into the front court. Norris on the drive, lean in, flip, good. Reggie Norris with the last four. 6 points in the game for him. 26-19. All the starters have scored for Simeon. No points off the bench as of yet. Here comes Jackson on the move to the left. Now to Hilby. A long three, short. Rebound Norris. Reggie Norris walks it up. Norris in the front court on the walk to the left. In the left corner is Parker. Double team, flip back out, stolen by Hilby. Hilby on the drive. Whoa! Blocked out of the gym by Kendrick Nunn. That'll wake this joint up. And that's the... Yeah, everybody in this joint speechless. Timeout, Simeon. We'll take it with him while we collect ourselves. 4:24 for the third. Simeon 26, Curie 19 in the Pontiac Championship on highschoolcube.com. Tonight's game is presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and many other independent retailers. Click on their ad to watch the Greater Than video. Along with Emil Williams Jr., I am Brian Snow here at the Pontiac Memorial Arena inside of the 81st Annual Pontiac Holiday Championship game. Curie has the ball, down 7, 4:19 for the third, in a low-scoring game. To the right side for Jackson. Low right for Alexander, and Taylor stole it. Wow. Wow. I had the same look my partner had a moment ago on that block by Nunn. Here comes Norris on the move to the right. Norris with a lean-in flip. Bank no good. Rebound comes down to Alexander.
Would have been 6 in a row for Reggie Norris.
Alexander waits for the traffic to clear, and now they get it up to Malcolm Hilby. Now to Batson, out between the rings. Batson leans over the dribble against Pollard, plays it to the right side for Jackson. Jackson comes out of the dribble. Ooh, nearly walked, but has it to Hilby. Hilby dancing on the dribble out to the corner. Loses his man, and a foul on Kendrick Nunn, and that's 3 on Kendrick.
That's late.
Very late. Three fouls on Kendrick Nunn. 3:35 remaining in the third. Devin Foster will come back for Curie in just a moment. Into the backcourt for Jackson. 26-19 Simeon, 3.5 in the third. Here comes Jackson to the right corner for Hilby. Out front, Batson. Batson on the skip dribble, plays it right side. Hilby, he'll pop a three. Nope. And rebound to Kendrick Nunn to Taylor. Taylor waits and now finds Norris. Norris gets across the timeline in the front court. Low for Parker. Parker backs in. Fadeaway jump. Yes. Jabari Parker now with 4, and the lead is 9 for Simeon. Jabari Parker only has 4 points, and yet Simeon's up 9. 2:50 for the third. That's how good this team is. Here comes Batson. On the move comes Hilby. Reverse layup is in. Malcolm Hilby with 7. 2:40 for the third, 28-21 Simeon. This is a low-scoring game. Simeon coming into today averaging about 74 points a game. Curie at 69. Norris directing traffic as Taylor sets the screen. Norris uses it, gives it back to Taylor. Taylor on the drive down the lane. A hook pass underneath to Pollard. Out to Nunn. Nunn looks for help and comes way out near the timeline. Nunn with a scissor dribble against Jackson. On the move to the right. Now backs up near the timeline again. Gonna play a little cat and mouse, and they'll leave it for Norris. 2:05 for the third. 28-21. Simeon by 7. Here comes Norris. Norris on the move. Stolen by Hillbay. Hillbay on the drive. And Norris got a piece of it. Tankston the rebound. Hands it out to Hillbay. Baseline jump. Nope. Rebound on the floor. Chased down by Nunn. It's a 2-on-1 to Taylor. Guess what? Right hand up and a foul.
And a foul.
Wow. Curie had the turnover and a chance to get some points, and they fail on the fast break. Meanwhile, Simeon does not. They converted with a dunk plus the foul. Gave the foul to Batson, his second.
You got to give all the credit to the Simeon defense.
Indeed.
Norris not giving up on the play after he had it stripped. He came out to get the block, and then all of a sudden that's an outlet fast break for the Wolverines.
30-21 our score. Here it comes. Got it. (31-21) Simeon up 10 and a $1.40 for the third. On the right side is Foster. Foster holds and looks, plays it back up top to Davis. Marcellus Davis on the move to the right, turns on the dribble against Kendrick Nunn, flips it back left to Jackson. Jackson on the move out near the timeline, pressured by Jaylon Tate. Jackson on the move all the way to the right baseline, flips the shot up, no good. Taylor another rebound. Ahead to Nunn, Simeon on the fly. Nunn stops, three-point stripe to the right, then comes back out on the dribble. One away for the third to get it to Parker. Parker lean in, flip, blocked by Alexander, and cleared by Simeon. Taylor comes out with it in the corner. Flip it back out to Tate under the greater than final minute. Parker on the left side, on the left corner is Pollard. Pollard turns on the dribble, flips it back out to Parker. Parker turns and faces. A lob to the right side, tip, and gathered back in by Norris, or by Tate rather. Tate across the timeline, 40 seconds for the third. Tate on the drive all the way in, fouled out front.
The point guard play continues to be a factor. Reginald Norris came in, gave the Wolverines a big spark, and now Tate will do the same thing. We watched Tate go coast to coast, right down the middle, 2 or 3 times consecutively against Peoria Manual. He can get to the basket.
And now a bad pass and a foul on Jackson.
That's a tough call there.
Mm-hmm. Now a warning against the Curie bench. That could be huge. From the timeline, they look to come in. They lob it in play to Taylor. 30 seconds for the third. Tate has it out front. And a foul called out front. That foul is on Tankston, his first. And that is 5 fouls on Curie, only 2 on Simeon. Malcolm Hillbay comes in. And Tankston goes out. Nunn looks to come in, flips it into Tate. 25 seconds left in the third. Tate walks it up. Tate leans over the dribble, out near the timeline. Nobody moved. 15 seconds. Now Jackson. Down to 10 seconds. Here comes Tate. Tate with a hook pass to Parker. Out the three-point strike. A jump pass to Taylor. He lost it, got it back. 3-2. Taylor Spade blocked by Davis. And that's the quarter. Wow.
One more quarter, my friend.
Yes, indeed, and that will wrap it up. And this game is brought to you by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and many other independent retailers. Click on their ad to watch the Greater Than video. We'll tell you what time it is when we come back. 31-21 after 3. Simeon leads in the Pontiac Championship on highschoolcube.com. Along with Emil Williams Jr. and Will the Thrill Clancy, I am Brian Snow here at the Pontiac Memorial Arena. Championship Friday. The Simeon Wolverines taking on the Curie Condors. And the Simeon Wolverines up 10, 31-21. EJ, as we start the
money period.
We start the money period with Simeon with the ball. Parker, Nunn, Taylor, Tate, and Pollard to start the fourth quarter. In play it comes to Tate. Tate on the move to the left. Taylor turns on the dribble, leaves it for Parker. Parker with a jump pass to Pollard. Backdoor to Nunn. He flies in and he's fouled. Oh, man. Nunn was going to fly in and blow the roof off this joint with a left-handed dunk. But he got fouled.
He was trying to poster. And I mean, just bring the roof down. Man, he can jump. He has got some hops on him. He looked suspended in midair for briefly.
He was. Nunn's free throw, good. Let's see if he can take advantage. He gets one. 32-21, 7:44 left in the ball game. Nunn's second one. In and out. Rebound comes down to Levante Jones. 7:40 for the game. Hillbay trots it up. Hillbay on the move to the right. Works off the screen all the way to the right baseline to the hoop. Reverse layup is high and no good. Rebound to Parker. Here they come. A bounce to Tate. All the way. Lays it in.
Well, he got away with one there.
He got away with one indeed. And I bet you the referees thought he was running so fast they didn't catch the extra step.
Man.
But he did get away with a walk. Here comes Foster. Foster on the drive. Lefty layup is in. Timeout Curie with 7:07 remaining, and Michael Oliver says, let me put an end to this foolishness right now. Jaylon Tate did get away with a walk when he got the pass, but he was running so fast the referees couldn't catch up and catch it.
He definitely took 3 steps, but we won't hold it against Jaylon Tate. That was a big-time layup. Nonetheless, extends the lead now 34-23 in favor of the Wolverines. But again, something I talked about earlier, point guard play. Now we've seen Norris play well, and now we see Jaylon Tate play well at the point guard position. Jabari Parker, of course, he's been quiet. Nabbed by 2 early fouls in the first quarter. He sat for most of the second quarter. He comes in and a big turnaround jump shot. Very smart as he was on the defensive end not to challenge the Foster layup, knowing he has 2 fouls already.
34-23, Simeon by 11. A little under a minute gone here in the money period. Scores from around the NHL. Washington defeats Buffalo 3-1. Ottawa over Calgary 4-3. The Rangers defeat Florida 4-1. Nashville over St. Louis 2-1, and you heard the Blackhawks score. Simeon with the ball to come the length of the floor. In the backcourt is Jaylon Tate. A lob pass ahead to Kendrick Nunn. Nunn with a jump pass to Parker. Parker on the move. A bounce to Pollard. Lays it in. Great play. Kendall Pollard makes it 36-23 and 6:48 for the game. Malcolm Hillbay turns on the dribble, guarded by Taylor. Tipped him by Nunn. Nunn able to get it back. Batson with a 2. Nope. And Parker chases the rebound down. A bullet pass for Nunn. What a catch. What a throw. He got it. Wow. Kendrick Nunn extends the lead to 15. 38-23. What a catch by Kendrick Nunn. A one-handed stab. Batson has it out front. Dancing on the dribble. Out front it comes to Davis. Marcellus Davis back to Batson. Batson runs into Pollard. Out of bounds. It stays with Curie.
Team basketball, the philosophy.
Indeed.
You got a lot of stars on your team, but they all play together, and that's the best part.
38-23, Simeon by 15, 6:04 for the contest. And it seems like you're waiting to see that one other scorer step up now for Curie. Everyone from Simeon has stepped forward big time.
And what I think we are seeing from Cliff Alexander is just a maturation process. Yeah, you still have to remember that he's just a sophomore, so still growing and understanding the game. But, when he's quiet, we look at it and say he didn't have a good game, but he's still learning.
And speaking of learning, Curie's learning not to put the ball on the floor against Simeon. A jump pass back out to Davis to the left side for Hilbay. Hilbay in from the right, reverse layup blocked. Out of bounds, stays with Curie. 5:47 left. And Curie is running out of time.
Last block was by Steve Taylor. Taylor again active everywhere defensively.
5:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter. On the left side is Jackson, low left to Alexander. He hooks it in. That is his first points of the game. Simeon has shut him out, 38-25 and 5:28 remaining, and a foul called on Hilbay.
That's what I'm talking about, Brian. Cliff will learn, what the team or defenses are trying to do to him. He'll learn that quicker and go to his go-to moves and make the adjustments a little quicker.
Seventh foul against Curie. Simeon in the bonus. And that's Jaylon Tate to the free throw line. He bends the knees, offers the free throw. Good. He'll get the penalty shot. 39-25. Simeon by 14. 3 points now for Jaylon Tate. Tate tries the second one. Good. 40-25. Lead is 15 and 5:25 remaining in the money period. Jackson brings it up. Jackson works his way to the right. Standing dribble against Tate, rather. Jackson way out deep to the right. Jackson picks up his dribble, looks for Alexander down low, gets it to him. Alexander turns right baseline, back out to Jackson. Jackson swings it left side to Batson. Back to the right side for Jackson. Jackson holds and looks to the foul line, Thomas. He throws it off the rim, no good, and the rebound comes down to Jaylon Tate. Here comes Jaylon Tate on the move into the front court. Tate with a jump pass to Pollard. Pollard turns out to Parker. Parker with a lob pass over the head of Kendrick Nunn. Can he save it? He does to Marcellus Davis. Davis and Curie on the run, and a foul from behind.
Still got to be careful with those cross-court passes. Oh, we've seen them get picked off or thrown too long all the time.
Reggie Norris back in. Pollard comes out. Despite Pollard and Nunn playing with 3 fouls, Simeon has not been in serious foul trouble to this point. Curie has the ball, down 15 and 4:20 remaining. This is their lowest output of the season so far. Batson holds and looks for Alexander, and a foul underneath on Taylor. If that's Taylor, that's his first foul of the game. It is. (40-25), 4:16 left. And they lob it away into the backcourt for Batson. Batson at the controls across the timeline. Works it to the right. Davis has it this time out front to Jackson. To the left side for Batson. Batson lobs it low for Alexander. He lost the ball going up. 15 turnovers for Curie. 3:55 remaining. Tate across into the front court. A jump pass to Parker in the left corner. Parker drives, lays it in with the left hand. Jabari Parker with 6. And it's 42-25 and 3:40 left. Time slipping away from the Condors. To the right side for Jackson. Out front it comes to Foster. Foster assists the dribble against Parker. Foster on the move, works it right to left, and a foul. That foul is to Parker, his third. It took Parker this long to get 3 fouls.
After picking up 2 early in the first quarter.
Absolutely. So Parker's presence on the floor, even though he hasn't scored much, has had an impact. Foster looks and throws it into Davis. Right side Jackson. Right corner Batson. Low right Alexander. A turnaround hook shot. Nope. Rebound Kendall Nunn. Simeon has it on the fly and they slow it down. Jalen Tate across the timeline. Tate picks up his dribble, lobs it low right to Parker. Parker in the lane. He traveled. And we get a whistle as Malcolm Hillbay comes in.
Jabari looks a little frustrated. I'm sorry, Brian.
He does look a little frustrated. 42-25 Simeon. Jackson dancing on the dribble against Parker. Missed steal, a free from straight off for Foster. Nope. And Taylor another rebound. Hands to Tate. 2 minutes, 50 seconds remain in the Pontiac Championship game. 42-25 Simeon. A jump pass out to Parker. Parker has it right of the key. On the drive, leans in, and a foul. And Parker will head to the line for the first time. That foul is charged to Foster, his first. And some of the fans heading for the door of this sellout crowd here in Pontiac Memorial Arena. Parker's free throw is good. Despite all the mistakes, despite all the chances they have given Curie. They're up 18 with 2:41 left. Second one good. .235 left, and Simeon up 19, 44-25. In the right corner is Foster. Foster with a fall-away jumper. Yep. That ends the run. Foster. That ends a run of, I believe, 11 in a row. Here comes Kendrick Nunn. Nunn with a jump pass to Parker on the left baseline. Spins baseline out to Taylor. Right side Nunn. 2:08 left, 17-point lead. This is Curie's lowest output of the season. And if this score holds, it'll be Simeon's lowest output of this tournament. Lower than the 48 they put up against Manuel to get here. Norris chased on the dribble, comes back out near the timeline. 5-second violation.
Norris surprised that he got the 5-second violation called on him. But I think what Simeon has shown that when teams try to take them out of what they do, their defense will allow them to adapt and still be the favorite.
And speaking of defense, there's a steal by Jalen Tate with a wraparound dribble. He pulls it back out. A jump pass to Norris out near the timeline. And from the looks of it, it does not look like Curie has another run left in him. Nunn swings it right side to Tate, right corner Parker. Parker back out to Nunn. Nunn, as they play a little keep away, Norris flings it back out to Tate, $1:20 remaining. They chase Taylor, and they come back out to Parker. Fans heading for the exits here at a sold-out Pontiac Memorial Arena as the Simeon Wolverines have won back-to-back titles for the second time. And a foul called on Malcolm Hillbay. But you got to give credit to the Curie Condors for taking down the Warren Blue Devils, because everyone thought it would be Simeon Warren, including us here in the booth. But Curie showed us something throughout the course of this tournament.
And I think they will continue to show that they haven't proved something to the rest of the state to be on watch for the Condors. I don't know what else they have to do.
Free throw is missed. Rebound by Alexander. We're down to the final 60 seconds. A straight-on three. Nope. Alexander had the rebound. Tip to Norris. Down to 55 seconds left, and it's safe to say you can engrave this year, 2011, on another trophy for the Simeon Wolverines. This time it's the Pontiac Memorial Trophy. All the way to the right corner for Tate, back outside to Norris. We're down to 40 seconds. Out front to Taylor, now to Tate. Curie will be held to its lowest output of this season and suffer their first loss of the season. And nobody, not even moving. Out front to none. So lackadaisical now. Curie knows that their fatigue caught up with them. And you mentioned it at the start of this tournament, which team is going to be the freshest. We're down to 15 seconds. The Simeon Wolverines have claimed the 2011 Pontiac Holiday Tournament Championship, their second tournament in a row. We're down to 5 seconds. We'll stick around for the trophy presentation. The Simeon Wolverines have won the 2011 Pontiac Memorial Tournament as they kill the final minute 35 and win it in a low-scoring, running back kind of gutted out affair, 44-27. Welcome back. Brian Snow here with you as we will now head to the floor and pick up our trophy presentation.
There's one first-class tournament that's a great work of our tournament manager, Mr. Jim Drankwitz. Jim is assisted at this time by cheerleaders Sam Gibbons, Lexi Furman, and Kayla Colemeyer. At this time, we have the Chicago Curie, coached by Mr. Michael Oliver. It's their 13th tournament appearance since 1995, with a 26 and 23 record, and they were last year's consolation champions. This year, they moved up to the second place. Simeon moving up to first place. If you would please move forward at this time. Condors accept the second place trophy. Great job, Condors.
Right.
(44-27) our final as we wrap up our championship. The Curie Condors finished second place this year. They were the consolation champions last year. And pictures all over the place, the trophy presentation taking place. And let's go back to the floor.
6 and 8 record prior to this tournament. That's 9 tournament championships, and now they're 10th in only 17 years, tying them with Glory Manuel. For the captains of the Simeon.
As Simeon comes up to receive their trophy, I'm now joined by my partner, Emil Williams Jr. And EJ, something you said during the pregame show about defense winning this championship. It certainly was true tonight.
No question about it. The defense as Neely, Taylor, Parker hold up the trophy. Now they will be joined by their teammates. It is indeed about defense, and what we saw was Simeon imposing their will defensively on Curie.
They sure did. They held Curie to their lowest output of the year. As the Simeon fans chant the blue and gold, the fan here in front of us want to say tonight's game brought to you in part by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance, just as our Pontiac champion Simeon Wolverines were tonight, then drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and many other independent retailers. Click on their ad to watch the Greater Than video. Well, we have a lot of people to thank before we call it a night. And before we are done here this evening, first of all, we want to thank all of the teams. As they announced the all-tournament team, Cliff Alexander, Marlon Johnson from Joliet West, Ennis Hightower of Danville, very well deserved. Hightower played. Jabril Jackson of Curie also being elected, remember? Marlon Johnson.
I'm not sure if this is honorable mention or second team. He's naming a lot of guys, so I have to assume it's maybe honorable mention.
It may be honorable mention. It may be first and second team.
I thought Quentin Payne played very well.
He did.
For St. Charles North also.
Bring the Payne did play very, very well.
Kyle Ward was very good as well for the Porters of Lockport. Oh, he just said it. I missed it.
Second team.
All right.
The second team.
That was your honorable mention there.
Nathan Booth, Warren Township.
Nathan Booth making the second team. A good choice from Warren
I think
Township.
that's well deserving for Nathan. Played very well. Big man going to Toledo.
Oh, he's going to be a Rocket next year.
Kendrick Nunn, a second team member, recipient.
Darius Paul from Warren, also a second team member.
And now for our first team selection.
Here is the first team selection as we listen in.
Devin Foster, Chicago.
Devin Foster of Curie. And we talked about it before we came on. Devin Foster played his way onto the first team membership. Jawan Starks, another player we mentioned out of
I'm 2 for 2.
Aurora West. You called it right down the middle.
The following three players were unanimous selection. Jabari Parker, Chicago Simeon.
Jabari Parker, an obvious unanimous selection out of Simeon.
I'll tell you what. Jabari showed me something in the Peoria Manual game.
Steve Taylor also.
He's well deserving. But Jabari really showed me something with his 21 points. Who did they say? Oh, Kyle White.
Kyle White of Manual.
Absolutely. Those are my 5 choices right there, all recognized. So I guess I don't want to toot my own horn. You know what I'm saying?
You called it all right.
I think you had those selections as well, though.
I did.
And now we have a special presentation of the AC.
That's the real question. Who's the MVP of the tournament?
We're going to find out in a moment.
I don't know. It might go to Steve Taylor.
Given to the tournament player who best exhibits a combination.
It's either going to be Steve Taylor or Kendrick Nunn.
Including sportsmanship, leadership.
Well, I think everybody in the building probably
everybody's going to find out here in just a moment.
Parker.
Hustle and determination. The recipient receives.
You know, at the end of the day, what's good about this, Brian?
What's that?
As we sit here and announce, and this is what we do, but you said something earlier back in a couple of days. These are just kids out here still enjoying the moment.
Absolutely. And here it comes. Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker becomes the second two-time winner from Simeon to receive the Williamson Award, the most outstanding player of the Pontiac tournament. And of course, we know who the first Simeon player to win it 2 times in a row. And of course, that is
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, the one and only. As Buzz reads the final game stats, we want to thank everybody that is involved with this tournament. And we'll go over our final stats here. The Simeon Wolverines defeat the Curie Condors by a final of 44-27. Simeon finished 18 for 43 from the floor, 1 of 9 from distance. That one belonged to Kendrick Nunn. 7 of 10 from the free throw line. 32 rebounds, 8 on the offensive glass, 6 assists, 15 turnovers, 6 blocks, 12 steals, and they were led in scoring by Kendrick Nunn, who finished with 14. Steve Taylor with 11. Jabari Parker finished with 6. Kendall Pollard finished with 3. Reginald Norris had 6, and Jaylon Tate had 4. For the Curie Condors, a valiant effort tonight in a losing effort. They're held to their lowest output of the season scoring-wise. 11 of 48 from the floor, 4 of 17 from distance, 1 of 4 from the free throw line. 23 total rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass. 5 assists, 14 turnovers, 4 blocks, 10 steals. They were led in scoring by Devin Foster, who shared game high on us with 14 points. Malcolm Hillbay finished with 7, 2 apiece for Joshua Batson, Cliff Alexander, and Thomas Smith. So the final score once again, it is Simeon 44 and Curie 27. Final thoughts, my friend.
Well, it's been a great 3 days. We saw some great basketball.
We sure did.
We've seen some future stars. And we will continue to see the future stars of America. But having not been to this event prior to, even if I'm not behind the microphone, this is a must-see event as a basketball fan, as a sports fan. It is that good. The talent level is that good. And, again, thank you to Pontiac, and thank you to High School Cube, of course, for allowing us to provide you, the fan, with a ride, the magic carpet, as we took you down to the 81st Pontiac Holiday Tournament. The eventual champion, the winner, Chicago Simeon, the Wolverines, as they continue on their magical run as well.
The final score, once again, it is the Simeon Wolverines 44 and the Curie Condors 27. What a job defensively by the Simeon Wolverines, as they were able to get it done defensively, and they win it by a final of 44-27. And congratulations to Jabari Parker, named the outstanding player of the tournament for the 2nd consecutive year. Our thanks to the following people: from Pontiac, Illinois, Leo Johnson, the interim superintendent, to John Kilgore, the principal of Pontiac Township High School, Ryan Pearson, the athletic director, Jim Drangwich, the tournament manager, and also to Brandon Martin, the host basketball coach here in Pontiac. They have been absolutely terrific in helping us out. All the local media that has been here broadcasting, as well as us. Thank you for allowing us a chance to bring this to you. Our thanks also to Larry Cotter for helping us out, to Jim McAteer, and also to Micah Colte. Is that
Mr. Nolte?
Mike Nolte. Okay, Micah Nolte for helping us out here as well. And EJ, I would be remiss if we didn't mention our producer and director extraordinaire this evening, Will the Thrill Clancy. He has been a trooper. He has done every single game behind the video board. He has been absolutely spectacular.
We still didn't get him on air.
I don't think he wanted to be on air. Not this time. We kidded around with wanting to get him on air, but we said we wouldn't do that to him. He's just been an absolute pleasure to work with, and thanks to our executive producer, Mr. Jim McAteer, and the rest of the folks at highschoolcube.com for allowing us to bring you the excitement that is the oldest tournament in the country, the 81st annual Pontiac Holiday Tournament. A reminder that this game is presented by Chicago's very own Greater Than, an all-natural coconut water sports drink loaded with electrolytes. So the next time you need to be at peak performance as your defending Pontiac champion Simeon Wolverines were tonight, drink Greater Than and be Greater Than. Available at Whole Foods and many other independent retailers. When you go to the website, click on their ad to watch the Greater Than video. Well, EJ, Hot Rod, Mr. Williams, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
It has been a pleasure, sir. To be quite honest, I'm kind of sad that it's actually over.
Yeah, I know. A lot of us were talking about that, as fatigued as everybody was, including the entire staff here, our own staff, as fatigued as everybody is, we were sad to see this end, but we know that it had to. And I tell you what, this is not the end for High School Cube whatsoever. So we're just getting started. This tournament has just really launched High School Cube into the status where it won't be touched by anyone. Your final score once again in our championship game, Simeon 44 and Curie 27. Well, Mr. Williams, let's go home.
Let's go home, sir. Chicago on deck.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Chicago, in 2012, High School Cube will bring you the very best in high school action, not just with basketball, but with baseball and softball as well. If it's high school, we'll have it for you on the nation's leading broadcast platform for high schools, highschoolcube.com. For Will the Thrill Clancy and the Hot Rod E.J. Williams, my name is Brian Snow. We have been your humble servants and olive branches to serve to you the best in high school holiday basketball. Until next time, we say good night, we say God bless, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Peace.